Hello arcade gamers, and welcome back to Big ED's Arcade. Today we're going to discuss the Fast and the Furious Arcade1up cabinet. This is set to release in April, here in about a week, and it looks like it's going to be exclusive to Best Buy. And I want to get into what it's going to cost, what we can expect, and what it's going to include. So let's go ahead and get into it. So guys, I want to start with the deluxe cabinet. Fast and the Furious, it all became known because of these deluxe cabinets. And that started last month when they hit Best Buy and people were picking them up off of shelves and opening up the instruction manuals and seeing Fast and the Furious as part of the deluxe line of cabinets. So I want to start with what we've seen so far, which are going to be these three cabinets: the Class of 81, the Pac-Man, and the Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe. So these were all released in March of 2023, just last month, and they were exclusive to Best Buy, and they were $499. Now, it started out where they were hit or miss. Certain stores had them, certain ones did not. Now they seem to pretty much be available everywhere, and you can also order them online. So what I think is next is going to be the Fast and the Furious, and it's going to follow pretty quick. And what I'm predicting is a May 2023 release. So we're looking probably the first week of May, possibly as soon as May 1st, you'll be able to purchase this cabinet. And a little bit about it is a Raw Thrills game. So this will be another time they've worked with Raw Thrills. They did work with them on the Buck Hunter cabinet, which was a big success. They actually remade that cabinet again and brought it back again a second time because of how well it did sell. And it also had some pretty good graphics, and it ran very well on the PCB that Arcade1up has. So hopefully they can translate that success over to Fast and the Furious, and we get another big hit title from Raw Thrills that plays and is a great experience. I think we will. And the reason we know about it, like I'd mentioned, this was a leak from the manual of the other deluxe cabinets. And this is the only solid information we have right now, which is just this black and white image of the cabinet. So I want to get into, what do we know? What do we know about this cabinet that we can expect? And what questions do we still have about it? Now, the first thing we look at is, this leak is just the side image of the cabinet itself. We don't get a really good look at the control panel, but we can see the marquee, we can see the side panels, we can see the kick plate, and the graphics look pretty spot on, except for the fact that we do not see Paul Walker, we do not see Vin Diesel at the top. Everything else looks pretty similar to the original cabinet, so I'm very happy with that, and I hope that includes the control panel as well, and that will be a pretty good match. Now, what is it going to cost? And that's a good question because no one really knows that answer yet. What I believe we're looking at, though, is we're looking at $699.99, the same price as Ridge Racer. The reason I think the $200 markup from the other deluxe cabinets is the steering wheel, the pedals, all those extra components are going to add to that price. And I think they can successfully sell it at $700, and there'll be a market for them, and they'll probably sell out pretty quick, when they first release. Now, I do think that there is a possibility, since this is going to probably be a Best Buy exclusive, I do see the open door possibility of, or the door open to discounts. Black Friday, holidays roll around, we may be able to get these at $499, $399, maybe as low as $299 like Ridge Racer at that time. But I think starting out, you're looking at $700. I don't think we're going to see many deals on this. I personally do not have a racing cabinet. I'm very interested in purchasing this one. And this may be the very first Arcade1up that I do pay full price for. We'll just have to wait and see what, it all includes, right? We still don't know everything we're getting with this cabinet. And we also don't know when it's going to release either. So I'm predicting May 1st of this year. And I'm saying that based on the bill of lading. So the bill of lading showed that these were stateside already in the US, sitting in a warehouse ready to be sold, and that was on March the 30th. So they're normally not far off selling these after they receive the bill of lading. And so I'm thinking, we'll get hopefully an announcement here towards the end of April, and then an actual release date or a street date of May 1st. Now, what is it going to include? And that is a very important question. I mean, that's what we're all wondering, is what I think what the biggest question is what games are we getting? What is the games lineup for Fast and the Furious? And I think we can bank on for sure at least getting the first title. The first title in the series was released in 2004. So it's a relatively easy game to emulate and port over to their hardware. And I think it'll run fine, right, on the current PCB that they have. Now, where it gets tricky is what other games could they include? They don't want to do another Terminator 2 and just have one title on the cabinet. They want to include more. So what other options are out there? And I think they could probably do the Fast and the Furious Drift. This game was released in 2007. So it only followed the original by 3 years. It did have new tracks, new cars, and it was based on the movie Tokyo Drift. I did notice looking at some gameplay, it has a little better graphics and the music is definitely better. So I hope we get this as the second title and give us a little bit of variety and some other games to play on the cabinet. But also a third title. And this is probably a stretch. I don't think it's going to run very well on the current hardware that they have. Probably going to need something like a video card or something to push these types of graphics. But it is nice to speculate and to hope and just, talk about the fact that how cool would it be to get supercars on the cabinet as well? I mean, this was a 1080p game. It was released in 2011. I just think it's kind of like Star Wars, the Sega Star Wars trilogy. I just don't think we're in that realm yet of possibility for supercars. But it is cool to speculate and to think how cool it would be to have it. Now, a steering wheel and controls. I think we're pretty good on the controls. I mean, Ridge Racer had a great steering wheel. Everyone seemed to be pretty happy with those controls with the force feedback. So as long as they go with those Ridge Racer controls, I think we're going to be just fine. But they want to get the graphics right. They want to get all the buttons lined up. They want those to match as the best that they can, right? Get the 1, 2, and 3, the start button, all the graphics to look good and to match the original. And I think we'll be A-okay with this one. Now, the pedals are another story. With these original cabinets, they have these heavy-duty metal pedals for racing cabinets. But we saw in Ridge Racer and Outrun, they just use these plastic pedals. They do the job. They're enough, to make it enjoyable. But everyone seems to be like, if there's room for improvement, the pedals were definitely part of it. And a lot of people upgrade that part later. That's something that they end up upgrading later anyways. So maybe we get a nicer pedal or an upgraded pedal with Fast and the Furious. Since this is a new product release, they're always looking to improve, hopefully. And this may be one area that they do. Now, one area they've struggled with is going to be online play. We saw with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Maybe they're going to step away from online play. Or maybe they're going to move and try and develop a better platform for that. I think racing games, there's a huge market for it. I mean, tons of people would love to race competitively online with their friends or others that own this cabinet. I just don't think we're there yet. We're probably just going to get, updates, leaderboards, some online experience, but no actual online multiplayer. Now, linking cabinets is a possibility. This may be more, cost effective or easier to develop as a way to link the cabinets together, similar to what they do with the original cabinets. Now you'll purchase more than one, link them together, and you can play head to head in that same arcade. Maybe we can do that in our game room in our homes, where we buy 2 Fast and the Furious cabinets and we link them together. We can play head to head at home. Or we can get up to 4 possibly, opens the door to a possibility of having 4 total cabinets all linked together. And it would be a huge incentive for Arcade1up to do this because they're going to sell more units. And people will buy them if you make this happen. So I think it is a possibility. I don't think we're there yet, but I did want to discuss it leading into the announcement of Fast and the Furious. Now, when are we going to hear more? When are we going to get more facts and details on the Arcade1up Fast and the Furious cabinet? We should get some questions answered on April 13th at 6 p.m. Eastern. They're going to do the One Update show with Travis, but then they're going to follow it on April the 20th with a new product release, episode 6, the One Up show. We haven't seen them in a while, but they're going to do on April the 20th at 6 p.m. Eastern a new product release live stream. So I think that's when we're going to get the solid details and all these questions I made in this video answered and get confirmed for us on some of this other stuff. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm pumped for this cabinet. I want to buy it. I just hope they get everything right, or at least to where I can have a good time playing it. And you guys put down in the comments, is this one that you're interested in getting? Are you going to buy Fast and the Furious? Is there anything that you're worried about? Let us know. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Bye-bye.